Beyond operational excellence, women at SMART are passionate advocates for accessibility and environmental stewardship. They spearhead initiatives ensuring that public transit is not a privilege, but a right accessible to all. In celebration of Women's History Month, Detroit is Different will introduce you to some of the women steering a new course in public transit. Hey guys, my name is BEvlove and I'm with Detroit is Different. Today we are celebrating Women's History Month with the women of Smart Transit, and we have a very special guest, Brownlee. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself, reintroduce yourself, and what you do for the company?
My name is Brownlee. I'm the VP of Bus Operations at Smart Transportation.
Wow.
I oversee the fixed route bus services throughout the Tri-County area, Macomb, Oakland, and Wayne County. And I've been at Smart now currently for 27 years. I'm centrally located out of the Oakland terminal, which is in Troy, but I'm at all three terminals and downtown. I never know where I might land at throughout the day.
Understandable. So can you tell me a little bit about your career journey? How did you get to this position?
Well, I started in 1996 as a bus driver. I drove part-time for 6 months. As a fixed route operator, and then I became a connector operator. For about 1.5 years, I worked in customer service for 8 years. That was 8 years, and after that, I became a road supervisor. I dispatched for a little bit of time, and I've spent the last 5 years in the terminal management. As far as the VP, I was an assistant vice president, office supervisor, and this is my last step here, which is the VP of bus operations.
Yeah. So what made you take that journey? Like, as a woman, what made you decide to get into transit?
I came here because of the benefits. Okay, 27 years ago, the benefits are still amazing here at Smart. And then when I came, they told me it was room for growth. And it was endless possibilities of what you could be when you came here to Smart. There were always jobs available, and I took advantage of that. I went back to school, got my degree while I've been working here, and I've been making strides to move forward and advance within the company. I love Smart.
That's amazing. So do you have any advice for a young woman who may be considering a job in transit? Like, what would you tell her?
I would tell her to, the Smart Transportation, it is a career. It's not just a job. You can build yourself and do whatever you want to do here. I would say go to school, get some computer training, depend on what you want to do here. You may get in the door as a bus driver and decide that, hey, I like this job over here in operations and I want to do this, or you may want to switch and work in customer service or do something different. But I tell them all when they come to me, start off getting focused, go to school, work on doing that, and then you can start moving around.
Now, I remember before we started speaking today, you were telling us about a young lady that you decide to be a mentor to.
Yes.
Could you tell me a little bit more about that? Like,
yes.
Where she is now?
Well, where she is now, she came to me a few weeks back and she told me, she said, what could she do to advance here at Smart? So the first piece of advice I told her was to look at her attendance. From that point, I told her, I said, well, why don't you go back to school and work on your computer skills? And she called me last week and told me I enrolled back in school.
Wow.
And I was so proud of myself. So I told her, I said, she took my advice. So one of the things that I said I was going to do was to keep in contact with her and try to mentor her a little bit on her journey.
That's amazing. That is so good. I mean, I was just telling you earlier, if I had someone in corporate America who was a little bit more mentor to me, maybe I would have stayed. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we need more people like that in the world. And was there a reason that you picked her, or?
She came to me.
Wow. Now, did you hire her? Like, how close are you to?
I usually get up every day when I'm at the terminal where the drivers are at. I go out to the driver's lounge. I make myself visible. I go out and I say, hey, how are you? How's your day? What's going on? So most times if they want to talk, they'll stop me and say, hey, I did this, or tell me about their day, how their families are, and, give me ideas of things that they want to see the company do for them.
And do you think that by being a woman, it makes you more empathetic to that?
Because I've been where they're at. So I understand the things that they go through. And I think having that motherly, womanly touch does it, Yeah.
And like you said, you've been where they are.
Yeah.
So could you tell us about a pivotal moment in your career that made you decide, okay, I'm ready to step over into management?
I had a supervisor that she recommended me for a job. And she told me to follow her. Just watch her and learn from her. And that's what I did. I took a lot of her advice. I made a few moves, did a few things that she told me that I needed to do. Mm-hmm. And my feet been down on the ground, and I've been running ever since.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. And what do you envision as the future of transit in Metro Detroit?
Oh, I see transit being more accessible. I see the accessibility. One day I hope to have transit here in Michigan like it is in Chicago and New York, where you can just walk to the corner and grab a bus, or, get on a train or something. I see that.
And what steps are you taking personally, do you think, to make that happen?
Well, that's a process. So we have to work together as a team to make that happen. But I think the powers that be are making strides towards seeing a lot of mass transit change here in the region.
Amazing. And as the world of transportation is transitioning into a world where mobility is more important, what opportunities do you think will present themselves for women with that?
Women, we play an intricate part in transit. We've been behind the scenes so long. Only thing that when you seen a bus driver, what did you see? You seen a man.
Yep.
Okay, but we've been the ones behind the scenes doing all the planning, the administration, writing the letters, sending out the memos. But then, something changed at some point. It was a pivotal moment where women have started to get more into management positions, especially like on the operation side. When I started here, there was no women in the upper management operations. None. It was all men.
Wow. And you didn't take that as a fear. You decided,
No.
Look where you are now. Could you say your position one more time just so?
VP of bus operations. I never would have thought that I would be here.
That's amazing.
When I walked in the door 27 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. And people have, come to me, and I've been mentored throughout my career and molded and given opportunities. So I would like to give those opportunities back to some of the younger ladies that are going to be here when I'm gone.
Yeah. So you have done such a great job with your career, going from bus driver to VP of operations. So we want to congratulate you and your journey, and it's so inspirational.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I appreciate
you so much.
the opportunity.